Welcome. This is the War Duck, and I'm here with
Mr. Krow.
and this is the Bird's Eye View, and we're going to talk about 5 games that we're looking at that are going to be released at some time. Now, these might have been released this year, but with everything happening, some of the games have been pushed back, so we have no idea when some of them are going to be released. Some of them will probably be released in 2021, but this is just 5 games that for each of us, well, not even 5 games. There's
Not even 5.
some games that each of us are looking at to be released later on at some point, and we're just kind of keeping an eye on them. So we're going to actually show you trailers of these games, but we'll just go down the list right now. And I have Baldur's Gate, Dead Matter, Skull and Bones, Dying Light 2, and GhostWire Tokyo.
And I have Remothered Broken Porcelain, The Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope, Amnesia Rebirth, and I'm going to... There may be a bonus if we decide to talk, because I don't know if I'm really excited for this game, because the longer it gets, I may get frustrated. The longer we wait.
All right, so we're going to get over to the screen here and take a look at, we'll start with GhostWire Tokyo here. Here we go. All right, so we're just going to run less than 2 minutes of each one, just so this doesn't take too long.
Sounds good.
So here is GhostWire Tokyo. 3, 2, 1, go.
I gotta say, I like graphics already. I'm still the age where graphics mean so much.
So when I first saw it, I thought it'd be like really true graphics, and then it kind of like stays on this not quite polished level. It gives it like a little bit of a cinematic thing to it. I don't know.
Creepy kids.
Fight when others
Right?
won't.
And then no faces.
Yeah, like the faces.
It's up to you to save Tokyo.
Like, so I'm gonna start being afraid of people who are walking around in
Umbrellas.
Oh. So almost. I'm trying to think of what game this.
Like some points it looks like really true animation, then other it goes like really like blocky and stuff.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to me though when I was looking at it.
Do you like that? That was kind of cool. Oh, she turned out to be a beast. Oh, that reminds me of Trinity and
Matrix.
Neo. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's what, like, I am not quite sure what's happening in this game, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that you see, and I wasn't quite sure, what was exactly, are you, like, downloaded in a computer and you're going around fighting stuff, or is this just the world that you're in with this kind of, picture style, right? But it looked very interesting. It looked kind of dark. It was kind of exciting, and like you had some kind of combat to it. I don't know. It looked very interesting to me when I was looking at it. So I was kind of okay. The only thing is this is a PS5 exclusive. So there's that where maybe a while before I play that game, depending on what happens.
If you guys don't know how Duck feels about PS5 or PS exclusive games, just go ahead and watch the previous video or 2 videos.
What are you talking about? I'm playing Ghost of Tsunami right now. It's PS4 exclusive. I love that game too, by the way.
He will eventually get the console. But he's going to get it at a great deal.
But I may have to wait till it's on sale because since they still haven't come out with the price yet, have they?
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, so
$550, but no, nothing firm.
Okay, so the next one we'll talk about here is we'll jump and we'll do, because this one's kind of for both of us also, is we'll do some Dying Light 2. because Krow played Dying Light. I just finished the regular campaign of Dying Light. I'm currently playing the following, but we are both looking forward to Dying Light 2. So we'll go ahead and check this out, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Like this.
Weapon modding makes a comeback in Dying Light 2.
I loved all the weapon modding that you can do.
We have a modded weapon. So now,
Combat looks very
let's find a good
similar
mode to
that
use
it did before. They didn't go too far out of. Oh, he like turned it on.
Yeah.
That's different. Cause that wasn't a thing before. You just did whatever you were doing before.
It was always on, always damaging.
You
I don't know if you noticed that stuff down. It almost seems like he had a stamina measurement down at the bottom.
Totally missed that part. I was not looking at that at all.
All of a sudden, I just saw it recharging at the bottom.
But you had stamina before.
Or you would never get onto that album.
the first choice.
Because remember, you had to
Chase the
wait
truck
after a
or
while
stay
if you
with
were.
Frank.
Oh, so you get to make choices now.
Just keep him alive.
Instead of just cutscenes, now you got to make choices.
Yeah.
Damn it! Run!
What I liked about that, there wasn't a timer on your
Okay,
choice, dude,
let's
because that's
chase
kind
the
of
truck
annoying
and see what
sometimes.
consequences that brings.
I hate, yeah.
You're like trying to think about, what do I want to do? And it's
The
like
truck is
3,
gone.
2, 1. No.
This tall building
You
looks
know
like a
how
great
many
vantage point.
times too, like,
We should
I've
use
gone
it.
on a mission and they're like, you got to finish this in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you'll come across someone else and they're like, hey, help me. And I'm like, I'm on a timer. I got to go.
Like civilian
You
died.
just hold on. I'll
Eh.
be right back.
That's cool. A lot more environmental uses
As
is
you
what
can
I'm
see,
seeing in this
life is
game.
booming on the rooftops, and this is something you can change by your actions and decisions.
Oh, wow.
Have you found the truck yet?
Not yet.
Oh, see, it is stamina. But see, it's a little different.
Matt,
I was wondering if it was a weapon, but no, that was the stamina. You
looking.
just used
That's
some of it.
Frank.
Can't find the doctor. But don't think about that now. I'm on it.
This was such a fun game.
Yeah, wait.
Well, maybe we should do a review of
That's
it
the
one of these
Renegade's
days, because
truck.
you really brought up some stuff that I'm
I'll
like,
get
oh
them for
yeah.
this, Matt.
Well, we kind of did talk about it the other
What
last time.
matters is the water.
Now his glasses are broken. Did you see that?
This
Yeah.
calls for something special.
Oh,
Oh, the grappling hook that you can only use sometimes. Oh shit! Now he's what? Hang gliding?
what?
He's
is
hang
he-
gliding.
How does a hang glider lose
In Dying
stamina?
Light 2, we have doubled the number of
see
parkour
that?
moves.
Yeah, you gotta hold on to it. I think.
Now.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, that was definitely on console. Did you see that console turn?
Yeah, they're on Xbox.
That was so funny the way he turned. Took him like 2 minutes to turn left. That's interesting.
I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
this
make
is the
a-
kind of stuff that's gonna make me so mad, dude. Trying to get lined up on something.
Yeah, this kind of looks like this is a mission, right? And it's not the free world type. What the?
Oh, that was
There is
dope,
some
dude.
new-
Okay, we weren't gonna go more than a couple minutes on these, so we're gonna stop there. But god damn,
Wow.
that game that made me excited and fearful at the same time because I'm like, I just know like playing like Tomb Raider or Nathan Drake and all those where you're like spinning around and you gotta like jump on something, you gotta get lined up. I'm like, oh lord. So the hang gliding
that's
was
what-
I didn't ever see that before. I don't know how I missed that before. I've watched this several times. But
I'm wondering if yeah, it's kind of like Tomb Raider where you have to be lined up because this one is it's a specific mission. He is on a mission. I'm hoping that they don't take away that free world because even when you're on a mission, you could take any direction you wanted. You just
Yeah.
needed to be there.
yeah, that'll be
I
very
don't know.
interesting. All right, so we'll go and we'll check
That
out
looks good.
Remothered.
Remothered. I'm excited for this one.
Remothered Broken Porcelain. All right, here we go.
It's
3.
a follow-up.
Oh, it is the second one?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the
Ah.
second one.
3, 2, 1, go.
In, Miss Reed. Come in.
Good evening, Mr. Ashman.
This is one of those games
Do you
that you and I were
remember me?
talking about. It was like,
Only
yeah,
between
we're gonna
old
walk around and
friends.
just get.
Whoa! What
Yeah.
was that, dude?
I'm Jennifer, by the way.
Lindsay? But call me Lynn.
At last.
That dude's huge.
It's just a bad dream.
Oh, see, she's fighting back though, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, shanked him in the kidney, dude. Oh, you like some dark games there, Mr. Krow.
That's some right in the head.
That's the first time I've seen this.
I don't know
won't
how
do
that
it,
guy
Mr.
didn't see her.
Rushman.
She's crawling, but
Of course I will.
and then I forgot the nun.
Oh, damn. August 25th, 2020. Huh? That's right around the
I
corner.
will clarify it. It doesn't come out August 25th. It's been moved to October, I think 20th, maybe 30th. I can't remember exactly. I think it was the 20th.
So, was the first one a quick time game, or because it looked like there was a lot of like close call kind of things?
It's I don't know if it's quick time. The first one was, yeah, it had some quick time in it too. Yeah, it's exactly the things that you and I talked about that I was like, but yet when it's introduced at the wrong time, it's bad. But that's the whole game.
Yeah. So Krow and I had talked about like when you play a game and you go all the way through the game and all the game mechanics are generally the same, right? And then at the very end of the game, they're like, let's just completely change the game mechanics and throw this other thing in for the ending. And you're like, huh? Like, no.
Introducing QuickTime.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah, okay. Introducing a different mechanic to a game that just didn't belong in the game. But if the game is, part QuickTime and that's what you're doing, then it's much easier to get involved in that. But when you played, 60 hours of a game, then all of a sudden they're like, hit triangle. You're like, what? Hit square. What? You're like, well, hold on a minute. It's like,
no, this one's definitely starts that way, and.
So, like, the other thing is, like, I'm not a big fan of games where you just run for your life the whole time. And this one looked like you were at least fighting back a little bit. So that's a very dark game, Mr. Krow. I didn't know you were into all that darkness there. So. All right, so the next one I want to talk about is Skull and Bones. Now, this game... I'm
jealous.
It's from Ubisoft, and I've been very excited for this game for, like, 4 years. But that's part of the problem, is this game was supposed to be released in, 2018. Then it was supposed to be released in 2019. Then it was supposed to be released in 2020. And now it's not.
Why is it being delayed? I mean, have they said?
Well, okay, the background on this game is the people that developed Black Flag, which is one of my all-time favorite games.
I was gonna say I love that. I loved watching you play that.
That is one of my all-time favorite games. The developers that decided what they actually did is they added a co-op into a test version of Black Flag, which is all I asked for. Just do that for me. Just add that, and I would fucking never play another game probably. Anyway. They added co-op into that game for themselves to test. And they had so much fun. They were like, let's do something that's this, but not
integrates this.
But not Black Flag, not Assassin's Creed. So they started developing this game. And the development of this game took some turns because of turnover and some other things with like some higher up folks.
Yeah.
And then what happened is they did the E3 thing where people came and played, and it was very mixed reviews because people want the Black Flag gameplay without the assassins, without the Assassin's Creed part. The problem with the original Skull and Bones is it was only naval combat. There was no getting off the boat. There was no doing anything else. When you went to a shop, it was just a selection. It wasn't a, you get off the boat and you go into a town and you find the merchant and you do that. And so
it's not free roaming world type.
It's free roaming in the ocean, but not off the boat, right? And so now you're talking about just a boat game, just a naval combat game with the mechanics of Black Flag. And people had a lot of mixed reviews because they wanted to be able to jump over to the other boat and fight it out to claim the boat and stuff, right? Because that was part of the mechanic of Black Flag. And that's the part that made Black Flag so fun was there was stuff to do on land. There was stuff to do in the water. And they didn't want just the boat. So Ubisoft said, okay, this isn't the reaction we wanted. We hear what you're saying, but that's a whole nother scope of a game that we didn't include and didn't plan on. If you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because now they only have half of a game. Because the other half of the game would be off the boat.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, okay, so they went back. Well, supposedly they went back and they created all these other aspects to the game to where now I think you actually, instead of a cutscene boarding on the boat, when I was looking at some other trailers and some other information about the game, when I was doing some of the research for it, is they were developing some of this stuff where you at least walked off your boat and went to a merchant and purchased the items for your upgrades, and that they showed like some people jumping onto one of the other boats and to start combat with the other players. So I don't know where the end result of this is going. I can only hope and pray that they make the game that everybody wanted to make, is Black Flag 2 without the Assassin's Creed part, because that game is what everybody really wants. And if you can't do that, scrap Skull and Bones and just make Black Flag 2.0 with multiplayer. That's it. That's all you have to do is just make it multiplayer and we're good. That's it. But so let's take a look at what we got here. This is a super long video. We're only going to show a couple minutes of it.
Okay. These are games I wish we had on the PlayStation, though.
So this game is PvP and PvE, both.
Oh, really? Okay. Are there sharks in the water like a...
I don't think so.
Okay. I just saw the blood or when it went down. And...
I think that was an aiming mechanic. See, this is very Black Flag-ish combat. And see, this was the cutscene before, right? So that's what I mean, is that was it. When you boarded a boat, that was it. Just the cutscene. That's all you saw.
But it makes me wonder, like, yeah, you want to be able to loot their stuff. You want to be able to, I don't know, take over their boat. So do you have to deal with all the weather and everything in this game too?
Yep, weather and sailing with the wind, putting yourself in position for the wind and all that stuff is a big part of this game. You have to learn how to use the wind to your advantage and position your ship at the most advantaged spot to take advantage of the wind and positioning to be able to defeat the ship.
Other captains have answered your call.
See, these are other multiplayer people that have joined that side.
Okay.
So now instead of 1-on-1, now it's 4-on-1.
A tight squadron using a coordinated battle
Dang.
And I think that's an AI ship.
The first ship goes down, breaking your formation.
And there's different there's different ships that have different abilities and stuff.
Yeah. some of them, the smaller ones, can probably turn faster.
And they shoot farther, also.
Okay.
And there's one that has a big giant ram on the front.
Oh, get ramming speed.
Your allies maneuver for position.
Oh.
The Royal Fortune acts as a tank, drawing the Commodore's fire. It unleashes its special ability, Siege Mode. Once
Siege
anchored,
mode.
it can fire its cannons without limits. The Jaeger slips into position with a powerful cannon. Its special ability delivers 8 shots in a single blast, increasing the odds for a critical hit.
8 shots?
But those are upgraded abilities and specialized ships and stuff like that.
Okay.
And see, here's the one with the big old ram on the front.
It's up to you to land the killing blow.
Ramming speed! See, that even sounds like the guy on Black Flag.
Die.
That even sounded like the guy on Black Flag, dude, the pirate.
But the glitter
Wow.
of gold can turn
Yeah, that
new
looks
allies
intense.
into deadly enemies. For there is no honor among thieves.
So now they just turned on each other, and now they want it. Now it's a free for all the fucking.
No.
All right, so I'm excited for this game, but I'm a little bit cautious. I just hope they do what everybody asked them to do, and just please don't make the same mistake you made with some of the other games like Breakpoint and things, right? Don't just think you know what people want. Listen to what they say.
Listen to your
Make
community.
the game that they want, and just don't screw this up, because this has the chance to be so great for me. I'm really excited for this game, but I'm just scared that they're gonna screw it up. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna go and we're gonna look at the Dark Picture Anthology, Little Hope.
Little Hope.
All right, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I will tell you that this is one. It's decision based. 100%. Everything you do is based on decision. It's the butterfly effect.
Oh. Another dark, scary game, Mr. Krow? Jeez.
Yeah, another dark, scary game.
We're near Little Hope.
Pretty much everything.
You watch horror movies all the time?
Little Hope does have an
Almost.
interesting and dark history.
That explains it then.
The way this fog just appears, it's not natural.
Seems
I've
the
lost
fog won't
soul.
let us go anywhere except into the center of town.
See, creepy little girls.
Oh, God, dude. I got 2 of them.
What more proof is needed that the devil walks among us in Little Hope?
There's someone else out here, by the fire.
Come play. Come play with me.
Oh.
My God, what do we do?
What the hell is that?
Yeah, everything you decide.
Get the hell out of there!
Sometimes your decision means someone else will die.
Oh!
I'm next.
Two-player online, 2 to 5 player movie. What?
Yeah.
She is the one in league with the devil.
Oh! Damn. Damn, Krow,
So
you
you-
like some dark games there, bro. What? That's in October? Like
Yeah,
a Halloween
this one's
release?
supposed to be around October, Halloween. Yep, this year. From what I've heard, everything's on, and from what I've seen too, everything's on time. So something we can actually look forward to on Halloween.
That one looked pretty interesting.
But yeah, so you can play this game single player, and everything you do, you make decisions and you try to. I already know some of the trophies, what we're going to be there. So, but yeah, you just make some decisions based on your decisions. You decide if someone. If I break it down, it makes it sound like it's a really lame game because I'm horrible at their salesperson.
So in the multiplayer, does each person play a different character?
Yes.
And does each person get to make their own decisions, or do you still make a decision that kills me?
Well, it could put you in danger. So for example, like if you put this in real life, let's say, we get mugged or whatever. Well, you have a decision to run since he's pointing the gun at me, right? And so it puts more of the pressure on me. But
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of the same thing in Little Hope. You do certain things where your decisions kind of put people in different situations and different. Yeah.
So it's fun. This article came up the other day, and it was like, what not to do when confronted by a bear. And like the number one thing was push your friend down so you can run fast. So I was like, because isn't that what everybody says? I just have to be faster than you.
You have to be faster than
I don't remember what movie it was that they were being chased, and the guy's like, why are you taking off your shoes? He's like, because I run way faster barefoot or something. Okay, all right. So, oh man. All right. So, next one we're going to look at is a game that I've been tracking for a while. I actually donated to the crowdfunding to get this game going. This one's called Dead Matter, and it's what DayZ and all those games should have been that weren't, in my opinion. And I've been watching the development come along, and I don't know when this game's going to be released, but they are doing closed alpha August 18th. Now, I am going to play the closed alpha, but I won't be able to show you guys any of it, unfortunately. I don't even know that I'll be able to talk about it very much. I don't know what the gag order stipulations on it, other than the fact that I know that I can't stream it or anything like that. I don't even think they want you to make videos of it. But
which is kind of sad. You're probably not going to be able to give us a review fully because it is alpha.
Yeah.
And some of the things that I really get frustrated with some of the companies as of lately is they're like, it's all right, just let it go. We'll just call it alpha. And it's like their safety net of, well, we haven't polished it yet. It's still
well, and that's the
alpha.
whole thing is like there's so much early release stuff nowadays. I'm like,
exactly.
Okay. But okay, so this game, it takes place in Canada. And when you first start off in the game, the fall of society had just started, right? Okay. So water's still running, power's still up, all that stuff. As the game goes on, that stuff breaks down. And so your world deteriorates because there's not the same upkeep. And so
you don't have the maintenance people.
Right.
There.
So you don't have the maintenance. So water will eventually stop running, power will eventually break down, gas becomes shorter, food becomes harder to find. And
so
this
is there an end to the game?
I don't know. I know that there's a story to the game.
Okay.
And there's also the multiplayer stuff to the game. Like I said, it's kind of DayZ-ish, but they said there is a story to the game. And you can play this by yourself or in a multiplayer server. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. 3, 2, 1.
Thing is functional in time for the closed alpha. We've still got a lot of left work on our plates, but we're excited to show what's been worked on since the last vlog. Canmore has been getting lots of love from the level design team and is nearly completed.
And they do put a blog up on their YouTube page all the time.
From Dead Matter, doors, light switches, claimable structures, and much more. Canmore admittedly became a lot larger than we had initially planned for, but we're making the most out of it and using the town as a performance benchmark for the closed alpha. The town features a large amount of residential buildings, as well as some shops and even some industrial buildings near the outskirts of town. There's a large variety of locations to be explored within the town of Canmore itself. Key locations include a large grocery store, a library, an under-construction rec center, multiple NERA camps, the medical clinic, the police station, as well as dozens of residential and commercial buildings that extend all the way towards the police station.
Got dynamic weather.
Canmore is very large, and this cannot be understated.
Areas.
Moving on to some of the weapon and animation changes, Kyle has performed a pass on the vaulting system as a whole. It feels a lot more responsive than before. He's also increased the fluidity of the system overall, as well as improving the math that's being used to position the player. Based on feedback from our backer community, we've made a large push to include more civilian weapons in Dead Matter, while platforms geared for military use, such as the AR-15 and Kalashnikov, have a place in the game. We feel
it is very active on their Discord and their other sites that they got.
You'll most likely be encountering while playing the game. To address this, we've added 2 new shotguns. The first one is an over and under shotgun. While it's technically not a new addition, there's a brand new set of animations and a brand new mesh.
Now the thing is, this is the small developer, so I don't know that it'll ever go to console.
Barrel length to transform the weapon
because this is a crowd-funded small developer game.
We've also added a personal favorite of mine, the 1887. It's a lever-action shotgun that allows you to terminate zombies with machine-like efficiency. The 1887 and the over and under bring the total shotgun count up to 4. We're also planning on implementing a lever-action rifle in the near future. The M14 now has a complete set of animations.
Wow. They're bringing in some pretty cool
and
weapons.
20-round mags are fully
So I encourage you to look at all these games for yourself, and look. We're only showing you 2 minutes. This, like I said, I've been tracking this game. I am a backer. I am on their Discord. I've been tracking this game for at least a year and a half already, or a year, something like that already. And they're just very receptive to their community. They're very much listening, and they know the pitfalls of DayZ and stuff, and that's why they're making this game differently.
And that's why it won't come to console if they're listening to DayZ. Because the first thing us console people are like, oh my gosh, this like however you navigate our backpack and this and that is horrible.
And so, like I said, this is a small developer, so I don't think it'll ever get to like AAA status where it's on all the consoles and everything like that. No. But if you got a PC like Mr. Krow does, you may still be able to get this game and play this game. I think it's $35 to $40 for the backer thing. You can still get in on the early access alpha if you want. The game is called Dead Matter. Go ahead and check it out. This is one of the games I'm really excited for, but I have no idea when it's going to release. I don't know if they're going to do like an open beta or what's happening, because that's farther down the road. But this is the game I will continue to try to update you guys on and keep up to date with. All right.
That's cool.
So
that looks good.
So we're going to go and we're going to check out Amnesia Rebirth.
Yes. Another dark one.
This is, of course, this is a recent announcement. So go ahead and give this a go. 3, 2, 1, go.
This one's an early trailer for sure too.
Any release date for this one?
I don't remember seeing any dates for it. They said 2020 is all. I don't think it's making it this year.
Yeah. Say something. Okay.
And that's right when it starts. Say something.
Is this another Run for Your Life game?
Yeah, it's kind of like a what was that one that we talked about just recently? Outlast. Yes. Yeah, it's a run.
Oh, autumn 2020, huh?
See, and all they said was just that. You know, you just got 2020. That's all I.
Well, it said autumn 2020, so you're talking what? October, November, December, somewhere in there. Oh, that's winter. I don't know when autumn is. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Sometime the end of this year, maybe. But they just released this in May, so they may be on path for that. It's not like this is a last year video. This is March 6th. So right here. So that may be... I don't know. All right, so that is Amnesia Rebirth.
If you guys ever played Amnesia, it came out on the PlayStation. It was free at one time. Really fun. Really good. Intense game. Keeps your heartbeat going.
Only going to be able to watch Krow stream during the day, so I don't have nightmares at night. All right. So the last game is definitely one that I just am over the moon about. Cannot wait. I've been playing a lot of Divinity and all these other ones because Baldur's Gate 3 is my jam, man. My jam. So I'm super excited about this game. I know a lot of you seen it. We're just gonna play their early release window announcement from June. They are supposed to have an announcement like I think on the 18th or something. They have like on their website. It's like in fact, hold on, let me see.
Gotta go check this.
Yeah, because it's like this is the only thing that comes up when like this is it. So in 8 days. They're like, early release date reveal. So nobody knows when, but it's August 18th at 10 a.m. Then we'll know when it's going to go to early access. I guess. I don't know. Because they kept pushing it back. So I don't know. Well, that's that. So, because I was like, let me do some research. So I searched Baldur Gate, and that's the only thing that's on that website. There's nothing else, no links or anything. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know. So on the 18th. All right, so here we go. Turn-based Dungeons and Dragons game. Right up my alley. Perfectly up my alley.
And no solution in sight. I could fix it all. Like that. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal.
Now these, I'm assuming, are just drawing. I don't know. It's definitely not game.
Cutscene style.
That might
yeah.
be. That might be cutscene.
This is cutscene stuff.
Despair. That's when you'll come knocking on my door.
Yeah, this is all cutscene stuff.
Yeah, it definitely has to be.
That's gameplay. Alright, well, they showed just glimpses of the gameplay in there. But it's very, like they showed a lot of environmental stuff. We're knocking stuff off of a cliff and falling onto people and things like that and some other things. So it's very much like three-dimensional now instead of just, here's the platform, this is the only thing can happen on this plane.
Here's what you do. Yeah.
So, all right.
Wow.
So okay, so that was a total of 8 games. Krow had another game. I don't know if you want to talk about. We are at 37 minutes, so I'll leave that up to you.
I'll throw it out there because the more I think about it, the more I put it out there. I don't know if I am looking forward to it anymore because it's Rust.
Rust for PlayStation.
Rust for console. Yes, because I think they're going to introduce crossplay and it's going to be on multiple consoles. So what I mean by that is Xbox and PlayStation, and we'll be able to interact with the people who've already been playing it for many years, and that's PC as well.
So they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough salty, toxic folks. They needed to add some more.
They're like, yeah, we need to get some of these console people in here who want to, these little kids who want to be like extremely something that they would never be in real life, and they can pretend they are something they're not.
Now, Krow made a comment that he was excited and now he's not sure if he's excited anymore. Yeah. Some of these games I feel like they announced too early, and one, like for me, Cyberpunk 2077 didn't make my list. It would have made my list last year, but the longer that game the longer it's not out, like I just get less and less excited for it, like to where I'm not even really sure I'll play it now.
Yeah.
Before I would have bought it on pre-order. Now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
A good way to put that is what happened last. What was the last big thing that you guys heard about the announcement of Cyberpunk? When Keanu Reeves comes out and he makes this announcement, and that was before the meltdown, was before COVID. It's been so long ago. And that's the last thing we've ever heard.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem with developers and games nowadays is like Avowed, Obsidian, I think I can't remember who it is now, but they're like, oh, here's Avowed, it's supposed to be better than Elder Scrolls 6 and all this other stuff, and there's no release date, nobody knows anything about it, but like Elder Scrolls 6 is what, like 3 or 4 years off, Avowed is what, 2 years off, and so now we gotta wait 2 years for a game that we don't know anything about. And like, I'm excited about it now, but in 2 years, dude, lots of things change, and
lots of things change in 2 years.
And I like, because the one thing I don't know about Avowed that really changed my mind is it only single player, or is there co-op? And if there's not co-op, and I think that's the other part of Cyberpunk is like, I'm looking at it like, okay, it's another Witcher style 200-hour game that I'm playing by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that I really want to devote all that time to a game when I could be playing other games with my friends and folks and having fun together. So, I don't know. Yeah. But so that was 9 games, 10 games we talked about. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
but
we threw last little 2 in there to make it 10.
We'll put the links to some of these games down in there. I don't know if we'll do the same trailers, but we'll put the links to the games if we can find them. And then you guys can go ahead and check those out. But hope you enjoyed this. But right now we are out of here. Don't forget to leave a comment and what you want us to talk about. Give us some ideas so Krow and I don't have to talk about it for 2 weeks straight and then make a decision on our own.
Then figure it out.
All right, everyone.
Thanks. We'll see you later.
All right, much love, all.
Bye.